Because this isn't just about time management. This is about true identity. This is about self-respect. This is about finally deciding that you matter too. Now, boundaries are not about being mean. They're not about pushing people away. They're not about becoming cold or unapproachable. Boundaries are actually about clarity. Boundaries are about choosing intentionality over obligation. Boundaries are about preserving your peace and not performing for approval. Let's take a breath together, because this conversation, it might bring up some stuff. It might sting a little, or it might feel like it until she can't. Exhale you didn't even know you were holding on to. Either way, this is sacred space for the woman who is exhausted from being the strong one, the reliable one, the one who carries it all without complaint. Today, we're talking about boundaries that actually work. Boundaries that don't just sound good in theory, but actually honor your life, your nervous system, your time, and your soul. And most importantly, boundaries that come with guilt or shame or burnout dressed up as love. So if you've been saying yes when you want to scream hell no, if you feel resentful more often than you'd like to admit, if your days are full but your heart feels empty, this one's for you. Let's get real. Most of us weren't taught how to set boundaries. We were taught how to be polite, how to make people comfortable, how to say yes, even when our bodies were screaming no. We learned that our worth was measured by how useful we were to other people, by how selfless, how agreeable, how accommodating we could be. And so we overextended, we overcommitted, we overfunctioned, because somewhere deep inside, we were scared that saying no would make us unlovable. But here's the truth I wish someone would have told me. Self-abandonment is not a virtue. It is a slow leak of your power. And eventually it costs you everything. It costs you your health. It costs you your peace. It costs you the ability to hear your own voice, because you are so busy tending to everyone else's. I remember a season in my life when I was doing all the things. I had the corporate deadlines, the mom duties, the wife duties. I was trying to be a good friend to my close friend. I was trying to look like I had it all together, but inside I was unraveling. I would lie in bed at night thinking, how possible to be this exhausted and feel like I still didn't do enough today? And that's when it hit me. I wasn't tired because I was doing too much. I was tired because I was doing too much of the wrong things. I was saying yes, fear, and not desire. I was actually giving from a place of depletion and not overflow. I was helping everyone else rise while I silently sank. And I knew that something had to change, because I couldn't keep preaching balance while secretly burning at both ends. So let me reframe this for you, because this isn't just about time management. This is about true identity. This is about self-respect. This is about finally deciding that you matter too. Now, boundaries are not about being mean. They're not about pushing people away. They're not about becoming cold or unapproachable. Boundaries are actually about clarity. Boundaries are about choosing intentionality over obligation. Boundaries are about preserving your peace and not performing for approval. And you know what? You don't owe anyone your burnout. You don't owe anyone an explanation for protecting your mental health. You don't owe anyone unlimited access to your energy, your time, or your emotional bandwidth. Here's where it gets real. The first time you set a boundary, it is going to feel uncomfortable. It might even feel wrong, because you've been conditioned to believe that your needs are negotiable. You might feel selfish. You might feel guilty. You might actually worry about what they're going to think about you. But guilt is not the indicator of wrongdoing. It's often the indicator that you are doing something new, something self-honoring for the first time in your life. And let me say that again, guilt is not your compass. It's your conditioning. And when you feel it rise, take a breath and remind yourself this feeling is uncomfortable because it's unfamiliar, not because it's wrong. So let's talk about what this actually sounds like in real life. You can say, I'm not available for that, but I appreciate you thinking of me. That's not going to work for me right now. I need to get get back to you after I've had time to think. I'm only taking on what I can give my full attention to. I'm no longer available for conversations that feel one-sided. And here's a big one, and probably the most difficult boundary script that you will ever have. No, just no, without a because, without a paragraph of justification, without backpedaling. Just no, because your no is sacred. It protects your yeses from being drained dry. It protects your energy, your inner peace. So now let's go even deeper. Sometimes the inability to set boundaries isn't about the situation at all. It's about the story in your head. Maybe you're taught that being easygoing made you lovable. Maybe you had a parent that exploded when you tried to assert yourself. Maybe you learned to anticipate everyone's needs before they actually spoke them because that's how you stayed safe. That little girl inside you, she did what she had to do to survive. But the woman you are today, she deserves more than survival. She deserves choice. She deserves space. She deserves the right to take up room in her own life without apologizing. So this is your invitation to grieve what you didn't know before, to forgive yourself for the years you spent overextending, and to decide right now that your needs are not a burden. Here's the thing no one tells you. When you start honoring your boundaries, your life is going to shift. Some relationships will change. Some opportunities might fall away. Some people won't understand the new you, but that's okay because you will understand her. You will begin to recognize the version of you who trusts herself, who doesn't ask permission to rest, who doesn't ask permission to rest, who no longer defines her worth by her usefulness, who leads her life from alignment, not obligation. And you will feel your nervous system finally settle. Your energy will return. Your power will come back online because boundaries are not just about saying no to others. They're about saying yes to yourself. So if no one has told you this lately, let me tell you, you are allowed to take your time. You are allowed to be unavailable. You are allowed to make yourself a priority without explaining why. You are allowed to want a life that feels peaceful, not just productive. And the next time guilt tries to whisper you're being selfish, I want you to respond with, no, I'm being sovereign. You are not here to live a life in burnout. You are not here to be a martyr. You are not here to disappear behind everyone else's needs. You are here to be whole. And that starts with boundaries that don't just sound good, but boundaries that actually work. Boundaries that feel like self-trust, not self-betrayal. Boundaries that build a life that you don't have to escape from. You're not broken for needing space. You are wise for claiming it. So let's normalize that. Let's model it. Let's lead with that because the world doesn't need more self-sacrificing women. The world needs more women who are clear, who are rooted, and are fully alive. And it starts with the next boundary you set.